What's going on, everybody? I'm Isaiah Tripp here with Trip Talk, and today I just got a quick message for y'all. It's going to be simple, but it's one that's going to come from some knowledge that I've experienced firsthand and things of that nature. So I just want to share it with you guys today. It's real simple, but it is profound. So today I want to talk about acceptance. Practicing acceptance, practicing gratitude, saying yes to life, and also the power of letting go. Now, this ain't gonna take forever, but again, I just want to hit on those few points. So just starting out, practicing acceptance. That's something that I've read in a few books here lately, and that's something that I've been practicing, and that's something that has brought real, genuine peace in my life. And peace is very important because I firmly believe peace is what everybody is searching for. Everybody thinks they want to be happy and all this and all that, and they think they want this, they think they want this car, they think they want that house, they think they want this shirt, whatever. Everybody thinks they want to be happy, but truly what everybody wants is peace. And this is something that has really brought peace into my life, practicing acceptance. And so going forward with that point, practicing acceptance is important. Accepting where your life is at any given time. Even me, like I said, this is firsthand experience. My life is not where I would like it to be at this moment, but you have to practice acceptance because things don't always go as planned. That's a fact. That's one of the facts of life. Things do not always go as planned. So you have to practice acceptance. Another way to say this, or another point, or another way to think about this is, one book profoundly said we should always say yes to life because life is ultimately a gift, and there'll always be givings in life. Sometimes there'll be what you like. Sometimes it'll be something that you don't expect or something that you don't want to happen in your life. They call this the givings of life. And we always should say yes to life and its givings, because all the givings in life, no matter if it's something that is good that's happening in your life or if it's something that's bad that's happening in your life, everything always happens for a reason. So anything that happens in your life is ultimately a gift, and you only can see that once you start practicing acceptance. So there's a saying, say yes to life. And once you begin to say yes to life and all of the things that it brings in to your space, that's when you'll find your peace. Because we only get stressed out when we try to resist. We try to resist against things that we cannot control. There's always going to be things in life that you just simply cannot control. And you bring more stress, you bring more pressure, you bring more heartache into your life when you resist that stuff. And so I'm going to give you a very profound point real quick. The opposite of yes is not no. The opposite of yes is not no. The opposite of yes is wanting to be in control. The opposite of yes is wanting to be in control. Because again, I'll say again, there's always going to be things in your life that happen that you just simply cannot control. No matter how much you want to control it, you simply cannot. So it's in your best interest to, again, say yes to life. Because a lot of times we can't see far in the future. We can plan for the future. We can have goals, and those goals can very well come true. But don't forget that God always has a plan for each and every one of us. And when we make plans, he laughs at us, essentially, because he has a specific plan for you. And to get to where he wants you, or to get to where he needs you to get to, sometimes you have to go through certain things so that it can build you up, mold you, and turn you into the person that you were meant to be. So again, when things that you feel are bad, and I say bad like this because nothing really bad happens in this life. Nothing bad happens. It's all learning lessons. If something that happens in your life that's not pleasant, figure out why that thing is happening in your life so that you can take that, learn from it, and move forward. So again, the opposite of yes is not no. The opposite of saying yes to life is wanting to be in control. And you're just simply going to bring so much stress in your life when you want to control things, because there are times, many times in our lives, where we just simply do not have control. And I know you can attest to that because I can. There's things happening in my life right now that I simply can't control. And If I wanted to beat my head against the wall trying to control these things, I would only be stressing myself out. So for me, when things happen in my life that I can't control, things that I didn't see coming, I gotta say yes. I gotta say yes. Go with the flow, go with the punches, figure out why this certain thing is happening in my life and make those certain changes so that I can continue to move forward. So practicing acceptance is very, very important. Practicing acceptance is very, very important. Okay, so on to the next point, gratitude. Gratitude is something that, again, I've read in books, I've gotten from mentors, heard that saying or heard that quote or whatever from mentors. And gratitude is very important, as I know now that I've practiced it or have been practicing it in my life. Gratitude is important. Gratitude is important because, again, we all have goals, right? We all have goals. Like, one of my goals is no secret. I want to be a millionaire by January 2023. That's been my goal since 2021. And, obviously I'm not there yet. It's not 2023 yet. But a lot of times we as people can live in the future too much or live in the past too much and not take advantage of the present, which is a gift, a presence, a gift. And so you have to practice gratitude because a lot of times when we don't get to where we want to get to, when we feel like we should get there, we get down on ourselves. Or when we look around us and we're not where our friends are yet, or we're not where somebody else is yet, we tend to get down on ourselves. And it's never a great idea to get down on yourself. It's always in your best interest to be kind to yourself, to reinforce positive affirmations, to, again, think positive at all times, because anything can change in a drop of a dime. I know you guys have had those moments, because I've had those moments where you think you out of the fight and just something miraculous happened, and out of nowhere it's like you're right on track, and it only took one day for that to happen. God can change stuff like that. So don't get so caught up into where you are in the moment in regards to not being where you think you should be in that moment. Don't get too down on yourself. Practice gratitude, because no matter what you're going through, there's always somebody going through something worse, right? There was times where, I think I've said this before, where there was times I didn't have nothing but 50 cents in my bank account. I didn't know how I was going to eat the next day. Looking forward now, in my position now, those times, they were tough, because as a young adult, that stuff can get to you, and I can empathize with that. But just going a little bit further on my journey and kind of looking back at those times now, you realize God had me the whole time. And whether you have $50,000 in the bank account, whether you have $1 million in the bank account, whether you have 50 cents in your bank account like I once had, you only can eat one meal at a time. You only can do one thing at a time. And even looking back at those times, I was still eating every day. I still had food in my refrigerator. I still had a second chance at life. I was still waking up. And that's the importance of where the gratitude comes in, because those type of situations can go one or two ways. You can have 50 cents in your bank account and be sulking and get into a depression and make things worse. Or you can practice gratitude and be thankful for what you do have, and be thankful that God is still waking you up, and you'll have peace in your life. Imagine that. Imagine having 50 cents in your bank account, not knowing necessarily where your next meal is going to come from, except that God's going to take care of you. Imagine being in that position but still having peace. Imagine being in that position but still having happiness, right? There's millionaires and billionaires that are just in their own depression for whatever reasons, because money don't necessarily really change things. And so gratitude is very, very important. Being thankful for what you have, because again, there was 50 cents in my bank account at the time, but there's people over in different countries that are starving and food deprived and don't have any money and don't know where their next meal is coming from. So there's always someone or a situation that's that's even, worse than yours, essentially. And sometimes it's very important to think about that. Practice gratitude, because again, acceptance and then having gratitude for what you do have in your life is just going to bring that peace over you. And again, peace is really what you're looking for. You can say you're looking for other stuff and all that, but peace of mind, peace, tranquility is what we're all looking for. And then the last point I want to make, after practicing acceptance, saying yes to life, and practicing gratitude, the last point I want to make is the power of letting go. The power of letting go. This, again, goes in accordance with saying yes to life. It kind of goes hand in hand. Not clinging on anything too tight, because again, when we do that, that's when the stress begins to come back in. Never cling on to anything too tight. Now, some may not understand this quite yet. Some may not agree with this, but God told us not to cling on to anything of this world. That includes a house, that includes a car, that includes your son, that includes your daughter, that includes your father, that includes your mother, that includes your sister, that includes clothes, that includes everything. Don't cling on to anything, because everything always changes and ends. Everything always changes and ends. You move houses, you get evicted, you buy a different car. You were in a relationship, now you're not in a relationship. You had a son, you had a daughter. Maybe they passed away, sorry to hear that. Or maybe you passed away, or whatever. Don't cling on to anything too tight, because again, that's just only going to mess with your peace. Now, I have a son. Trust me, I love my son with all my heart. There's nothing. If you have a child, there's no other love than the love of your child. So trust me, I know. But again, I'm going to die one day. It's inevitable. My son's going to die one day. It's inevitable. Now I'm going to do everything I can to show my love. But again, everything changes and ends. Life is going to end. And I know it's a lot of people grieving always throughout the world. And this helps get you through that process. This helps get you through that process. And this, again, helps you achieve peace, which we're all looking for. It's peace. So the power of letting go. Always do your best to get to your goals. Let's say if I write a goal, always do your best to achieve that goal. Always do your best to preserve stuff like relationships. As long as you're doing your part, as long as you're doing your best, and it still don't work out, then that's where the power of letting go comes in. I did everything that I possibly could to make this work. It still did not work. Now I can beat my head against the wall like, this gotta work. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. I love her so much. This gotta work. I'm gonna make this work. Do your best. And when you realize things are not working out, you have to let go. You have to let go. You have to say yes to life. You have to say yes, because again, remember, the opposite of yes is not no. The opposite of yes is wanting to be in control. And the fact remains is that we just really do not have any control, virtually. There's some things we can control, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that we just do not have control over. And once you get that in your mind, once you get that in your brain, you'll find that peace. You'll be able to let stuff go. Because anything that is meant for you, it won't leave your life. God won't allow it. So if it's meant for you, it'll be there in your life, even if you mess it up, even if you purposefully mess it up. If it's meant for you, God is going to keep it there in your life if it's meant for you. If it's not, he's going to remove it. And if you try to chase it once he removes it, you may have it for a little bit, but he still can take it away at any moment. So don't chase anything. Don't chase anybody. Don't chase any situation. Let go. Go with the flow. Let go and let God. Just go with the flow. Again, as long as you can look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I tried. I tried to preserve this. I tried to make this work. I gave effort. For whatever reason, it's just not working out. That's where the power of letting go comes in. Let go. Go with the flow. Be free. Allow other things to come into your life. Because we don't see it in a moment, but when something leaves our life, God is going to replace it with something that's 10 times better. And you don't see it just yet, but it's the truth. So let go. Let go. And it'll be okay. Let go. Don't cling on to anything. Let go. I think I'm actually going to end this video here today with that. I'm going to be back with more videos. But today, again, the key message is that you want to say yes to life. You want to practice acceptance. Accept whatever God brings into your life, good or bad. Because again, nothing is actually really bad. It's only learning lessons and things that happen to strengthen you and help you to grow. So practice acceptance. If you lose a loved one, if you lose a relationship, if you lose a job, don't, here's a quick example. If you lose a job, don't talk about your job. Oh, this job, they don't know, they just lost, they lost a good one, and this job don't know how good of a work I am, blah, 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 blah. As much as you want to preserve that job, God is basically saying, if you do get fired, that this is not the place for you. And you're not going to be able to see that if you're still clinging on to the past and still blaming everybody in the past. Let go. Accept it. Accept it and move on. Look for another job. Just practice acceptance. Trust me, it's going to bring so much peace in your life. So first things first, what I want you to get out of this video, again, practice acceptance. Say yes to life. Always remember that the opposite of yes is not no. The opposite of yes is wanting to be in control. And that's just a never-ending battle because you're not in control. The second thing, practice gratitude. Be thankful for what you have. Shoot for the stars. And know that you'll get there one day. But in the meantime, be thankful for what you do have. Don't get down on yourself. Don't sulk too much because you're not where you want to be at the given time you thought you should be where you wanted to be. Practice gratitude at all facets. Even if you don't have any money in the bank and you live in paycheck to paycheck. If you look around, do you have food in the refrigerator? Can you still eat? Can you still wake up? Can you still live? Okay, you don't have a Louis Vuitton backpack. You don't have a Versace shirt. But do you have clothes to wear? You don't have Jordans, but do you have shoes to wear? Are you still good right now? Are you still alive right now? Do you have a second chance right now? Practice gratitude. And the last point that I want you to get today is the power of letting go. Don't cling on to anything too tight. And again, this coincides with saying yes to life and practicing acceptance. The power of letting go. Again, always try your best to preserve things. Always try your best to get certain places. But if it's just not working out, do not cling. Do not put pressure. Do not get down on yourself. Let go. Go with the flow. Go with what comes into your life. Even if you get fired again, don't try to cling on to that old job. Let go. That's just God telling you that there's more things out there for you. Steve Harvey always says, if one door gets shut in your face, all you got to do is simply turn around, walk down the hall, and there's more doors that'll always open up for you. But you can't turn your back and walk down the hall if you're still trying to knock on the door and get back into the door that just shut in your face. Let go. Turn around. Walk down the hall and see what else God has to offer in your life. So I hope you guys got something very valuable out of this video today. I know these practices and these little gems and nuggets of wisdom has been very uh, uh, beneficial in my life. And so that's the only reason I'm making this video today, is because I want to share it with you, and I hope it resonates with you. I can easily just use this information like I've been doing, and continue in my own peace, but obviously that's not what we're here for. We're always here to give back. And I don't want to just have peace to myself. I want you to also achieve peace, because again, when you have peace in your life, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Nothing matters except that peace. And I'm not saying money is a bad thing. What I am saying is that if you don't find peace in all facets of your life, it won't matter when you have money. Because if you're not at peace with yourself when you don't have money, you won't be at peace with yourself when you do have money. It's just only going to exaggerate things. So find that peace, and hopefully you take heed to this advice. One last time, practice acceptance. Always say yes to life. Always say yes to life and its givings, because all of its givings is ultimately a present. Say yes to life. Practice gratitude. And always, always practice the power of letting go. Just let go. I thank you guys for watching this video today. I'm Isaiah Tripp. It's Tripp Talk. Until next time.